guys, Neri here from Drakewing Gaming. So if you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Dawn Chorus, Torulf's Path. So, things are probably about to get kind of steamy, so guys, let's pick it right back up where we left off in that sexy game of Spin the Bottle. Alright guys, please sit back and enjoy, and let's get right back into it. Sorry about that guys, I'm back. I had the wrong version loaded up. Alright, let's do it. Torulf, here we come. Very hard. Okay, no, bad. Alright. Don't worry, the next one will be easier. You won't have to lift yourself up from the ground. That makes a huge difference. But I persevere. I close my eyes and focus completely on the next reps. Torulf corrects me a few times, but after the 7th repetition, he just gives up and lets me do the next one sloppily. No way I could finish 10 reps otherwise. I indeed worked up quite a sweat. I'm also gasping for breath and my forearms are on fire. I get up on my legs, wiping my dirty paws at my trousers. Well, you did better than I thought you would. I don't know if it's a praise or an insult. Maybe rest a moment before spinning the bottle. You look rather done. Nah, I'm fine. I just need to catch my breath. And it's time for me to spin the bottle, which stops on... Torulf again. Truth or dare? Let's go with truth. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Oh, got some choices. What's your biggest regret? Spending most of my life here, up north. I couldn't move out earlier, though. Studies were my first chance for it. He mentioned his general distaste for this place a few times, yeah, but I had no idea he disliked it so much. Torulf spins the bottle and it stops on. Nope, let's do it. What's your favorite food? That's sukiyaki. But only the real thing, sold in food stalls in the alleys. Nothing here comes close. Though tofu saltado is not far behind. I can get it in Anslow's city center in a Peruvian restaurant. Oh, let's go back a little bit. Oh yeah. I get drunk easily, so I try not to overdo it. Sounds like me. I didn't always succeed, though. There was this one time on a trip with friends back when I was studying computer science, when in the evening a rain caught us at a campfire. We finished a bottle of vodka and that we had with us in a hurry, running from the rain. I wasn't planning on drinking that day, though, and I forgot that I hadn't eaten anything yet. Wow, how did that end? My friends carried me back to our apartment, and after a while I started responding again. Frankly, that just sucked. I felt like shit, and I don't recommend it to anyone. What makes you happy? Traveling, always. But in general, I feel like I'm moving forward. In general, I like feeling like I'm moving forward. Standing idly in one place isn't for me. Oh, okay. What do you think of me? You know, you're cute. You're bright, too. It's really nice talking with you. Quite refreshing. It's fairly obvious that I like you. Torulf spins the bottle and it stops on. Travis, hello. Truth or dare for you? The truth, please. I don't know much about you yet. You seem like a very positive person, though. What's the most important to you in life? My friends, definitely. I like being around people. Without company, life would be pretty pointless, wouldn't it? And I do whatever I can for them. That's kind of you. Now Travis spins the bottle and it stops on Lake again. Truth, please. Truth, huh? Who was your first crush? Oh, I don't know. That must have been long ago. You sure you remember at least one? Maybe from a movie? Poor Lake. Lake, why are you taking off your shirt? The rules say I have to take off an article of clothing, but a shirt barely counts. I think we can all agree it's enough. Oh? You're off the hook. You can spin the bottle now. Oh, okay. Lake spins the bottle, almost sending it off the table. It finally stops on. Torulf! Give me a dare. Ooh, I see. How about you give me a kiss? A kiss? Can do. Wait, a kiss? Lake wants a kiss from Torulf? I didn't even know he likes men. Wait, Lake likes men? Why did I know nothing about it? Is there something between Lake and Torulf? Oh, how things start making sense. Why they seem so close, why Lake is so cheerful around him. But... guys, don't take this too far, please. I spent the last night with him, not Lake. Does Lake know about this? Of course he knows, I told him. Just one small kiss never hurt anyone. Torulf gives Lake a small, teasing kiss on the tip of his snout, and Lake reacts by blushing a tone deeper. See? Easy and quick. Hey, I just remembered the biggest problem with Spin the Bottle. It's nice that you're having fun, but I haven't had my turn in forever. You're right. Though, by the laws of probability, there's a 33% chance that you'd be up next. What do you suggest? Never have I ever. Yeah, I was just getting started with the dares. Another reason to change the game. Aww. I'd prefer to continue, but we can try. How do you play it? I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Oh, it's a very simple game. Even simpler than Spin the Bottle. We sit in a circle and take turns saying a statement about something we've never done. Others drink as a penalty if the statement isn't true for them. Fun is in making as many people as possible drink with one statement. Oh, are we doing shots? I could grab my bourbon. I'm not drinking alcohol, so for me it would make more sense to just sip on my lemonade. So we can do shots and you can stick to the lemonade or just raise your paw. Sounds okay? Fine with me. I'll go fetch the bottle then. Is it just me or is the mood kind of weird? A bit, yeah. No wonder, there's 4 of us left here, out of 8 invited, and Miko left visibly angry. I'm still having fun, but at the back of my head there's some unpleasant feeling that I can't put into words. Jorgen? Yeah? Can I get a hug? Sure. Oh. Lake gets up from his armchair and joins Jorgen in his, both barely fitting in it together. They look cute. No more alcohol for you, though. You look like you've had enough. Yeah, that's likely. Sorry for being so emotional, y'all. It's fine. We all have moments like that sometimes. I think the evening is still salvageable. We came here, 50 minutes ago? They have a small collection of vinyl records around. Maybe we should stop with the party games for a while and relax with some music. Hey, I'm back. Torulf walks into the room with a wide smile and a wider bottle full of amber liquid. Torulf, come snuggle with us! I don't think I'll fit there, Lake. What's going on here? I leave you for a moment and I come back to a cuddle pile. It's a nice way to spend the evening. Carvin suggested playing some music. Maybe you want to choose something? What about the game? It can wait. We're in a chill mood for now. Let's just vibe for a while. Well, fine. We're not in a hurry. Torulf puts down the bottle on the table and walks away to the record player. Any requests? Do they have Team Dreams? I'd love to hear Random Haiku Generator now. Nope, sorry. Drive My Car soundtrack? Nope. Just choose something you like. I have an idea then. The same album that played when we were here yesterday starts playing. Torulf sits down next to me again, and again his paw slides over under my shirt, rubbing at my belly, clawed fingers brushing through my fur. He pulls me closer until my back presses against his torso, almost spooning me. This is slightly embarrassing, to say the least. Others surely see it. But at the same time, it feels nice to have others see me with Torulf like that. Torulf for me is someone to look up to. To have him so close to me, it makes me feel so much better about myself. I glance at the rest. Lake talks with Jorgen, but I barely register their words. Travis is on his phone, holding it horizontally, maybe playing some game. It seems like nobody pays attention to us. I grab Torulf's other paw and hold it in mine, listening to the music. It's warm and soft. In his embrace, I feel warm and soft, too. A moment stretching into forever. I really feel something towards him, don't I? I don't want the album to end, but too bad you can't loop a vinyl record, at least on a regular manual player. But the music ends abruptly before the album comes to a close. It's dark in the room, save for the warm glow of the fireplace. Huh? What's happening? We've lost power. It should come back shortly. Outages last below half an hour usually. Half an hour? That's cool. Oh, I'd love power outages. Huh? What? Why? Who likes power outages? Just look around. Look how atmospheric it is here now. We could have just turned off the light, you know. It's not the same. Now if we wanted to, we can't turn it back on. The difference seems to be subtle, but I think I understand what he means. This is like a communal experience. Something exciting, an extraordinary event. When was the last time you didn't have power? I don't even remember. You're right. It has its charm. But it's also kind of spooky in a good way. Ooh, maybe there's something supernatural at play here. You know, power doesn't just go out without a reason. How would that work? I don't know. That's what supernatural means. It's inexplicable. Ooh, maybe there's a killer on the loose and he's cut out the power so it'd be easier to murder us. How would cutting the power help them? It only alerted us. Hey, stop ruining my fun. Oh, I know what we should do. How about we tell some scary stories? Shouldn't we first go see what's going on? We know what's going on. We lost power. So if nobody knows any, I remember one. It's from this area, too. What do you say? Oh, sounds good. Go ahead. I'm curious about the story. Spooky stories time! Blake straightens himself on the chair and looks at us expectantly. We all sit down on the chairs and couch facing him, some excitedly, some hesitantly. The light of the fireplace illuminates him from the side, giving his features a sharper look. So, this is a story I've heard from a guy at uni. He's friends with a group that often goes for fjord trips, and this happened to them 3 years ago. When looking online for places to stay around these parts for an early winter trip, they found a neat-looking cabin that was dirt cheap. They booked it right away, happy that they found a deal so good. They booked the cabin for the 4 of them, chatted a bit over email with the owner, who seemed pretty nice, and got ready for the trip. They arrived at the town by the car in the afternoon and met with the owner of the cabin, an older Bernese mountain dog gentleman. He gave them the directions and the key to the cabin, and wished them a thrilling stay. The cabin was further from the town than they thought, and they drove through frozen plains and forest for almost half an hour. But when they arrived and saw a picturesque meadow where the cabin was, they thought that it was worth coming. The cabin itself looked nice too. It was a simple wooden structure, but it had a certain charm to it. It was only October, but the weather was really cold that year and everything was covered with a thick layer of snow, just like now. They entered the cabin and found it neat and cozy, perfect for a short stay. It was equipped with a kitchenette, 3 beds, a couch, a table, and a few chairs. So, pretty much everything they needed. There was also a stack of plain wax candles and matches on the table, and a few old paintings were hanging on the walls. One of them depicting a forest in the winter, unsettled them for some reason. The more they looked at it, the more they felt that something in the woods stared back at them. They ended up taking the painting down and hiding it behind the couch for the time being, and continued unpacking. Afterwards, they went for a walk around the area just to see if there's anything interesting there. But as they walked through the woods, they felt the same unsettling presence that stared at them from the painting. Spooked, they retreated back to the cabin. As soon as they were back in, though, the doors locked securely behind them. They started to laugh at themselves. How silly was that? To spook themselves over some old painting. It was already getting late and dark, so they decided to stay in for the day. They wouldn't be bored for sure. They were partying a bunch, and they brought speakers and a lot of booze with them. So they spent the whole rest of the day and half of the night partying, drinking, singing, and having a great time. When they woke up the next day, it was already noon. It was already afternoon. The day was cloudy, and it must have been snowing all night. As they looked outside, they saw that everything, including their car, was covered in pillowy white mounds. As the others were busy preparing food, one of them went out to clear the snow from the car. But as she opened the door, she saw a terrifying sight. The whole front door and frame had deep, regular scratches as if made with blades or monstrous claws. As she looked down, she saw paw prints that were already covered by fresh snow, but they seemed unnaturally huge. She walked around the cabin and saw similar markings on one window frame, and more paw steps leading into the woods. Terrified, she hurried back inside and closed the door behind her, thanking the skies above that they locked all the windows the previous night. The rest got pretty spooked seeing her all trembling and breathless. They led her to the couch and let her rest for a short while before she recounted what she had seen outside. The others thought she was trying to trick them, but when they opened the door, they weren't laughing anymore. Terrified, they gathered around the table and tried to make sense of it. Was it a burglar trying to break in to steal their stuff, or some psycho wanting to murder them? And why did they leave so many marks? They all agreed the best course of action was to call the owner of the cabin. They pulled straws, and the same girl that went outside in the morning was tasked with calling. She did, but of course there was no reception. Spooked, they agreed to grab the more valuable of their belongings and ride back to town. Packing only took them a short while. They left all the mess behind and got into the car. Riding back the road they came, they were sure they're safe, until they got stuck in the snow just after 5 minutes of riding from the cabin. One of them wanted to continue forward on pause, but finally they all agreed it's too late and cold for that, and the town was too far away. If they were driving there for half an hour, walking would take much, much longer. Instead, they decided to go back to the cabin and try calling the police. Or at least hope that the cabin owner would pay them a visit. They walked back in silence, too terrified for any small talk. Along the way, they regularly checked the reception, but there still was none. By the time they got back, it was already dark, and the only full moon illuminated the snow-covered meadow. The cabin was just as they left it. The cuts were still there on the door and the frames, but it looks like no one or nothing tried to get inside while they were out. They entered the cabin and once again locked the door securely and checked all the windows. They didn't have any weapons, but they thought that as long as they were awake, no one would try to break in again. They decided to stay until the morning, once it got brighter and a bit warmer outside, and then try to walk back to town. In the meantime, to stay awake and alert, they decided to play party games. They started with Spin the Bottle and played for a while, but once the questions got a bit too personal, they stopped and just listened to some music. Late at night, when the last candle burnt out, darkness flooded the room. They all fell silent, and that's when they heard heavy steps outside. Lake takes a dramatic pause, and I'm so engrossed in the story I swear I can hear paw steps myself. I glance at the corridor and see nothing but oppressive darkness. Lake takes a phone out of his pocket and turns on the torch. The only source of light left was their phones, but they were too terrified to move. Finally, one of them grabbed his phone and pointed it at the window. Lake lifts his phone dramatically and shines the light around the room. And behind the window they saw... Behind the window where Lake is looking, there's a towering figure standing and looking inside. A loud thud shakes the whole room. Glancing to the right, I see that Lake fell back from the chair he was in. Lake, what are you doing? There was someone behind the window! And? What do you mean, and? There was some creepy guy standing behind the window looking at us. Lake, you spooked yourself with your own story, and it wasn't even scary. It wasn't... Come on, we're getting the hell out of here! Lake grabs Torulf's paw and drags him out of the room. Not wanting to stay here without them, I grab Torulf's other paw and follow. Popular guy. Oh, door. It's dark in here. Lake, don't bite into my arm. Sorry. Wait, let me just... Some door opens and Torulf pulls me after him. Where are we? It's my room. Torulf closes the door behind us and locks them with a key. There. Happy? We're safe now. How can you be so sure? Who's going to pick a lock to get in here? Come on. Besides, the guy you saw outside was likely a technician that arrived to fix the power. Well, maybe. Better safe than sorry. Lake walks up to the window, discreetly peeking out. I can't see anyone outside now. Good. You can stay there and watch for anything happening outside. I'll stay at the door and listen for any movement. Great. Lake, are you sure do you really think we're in danger? Well, likely not. But this is way more fun if we assume we are. He's weird. Not in a bad way, just plain eccentric. Suddenly, Torulf puts his paw on my shoulder and pulls me towards himself, pressing his snout to my ear. I assume he wants to tell me something, so I hold motionless, feeling his hot breath on my cheek. Instead, he grazes my ear with his fangs, sending a wave of pleasure through my body. I blush instantly, feeling the tip of my ears get hot in response. Shh. His paw finds its way under my shirt again, rubbing my furred belly. I want to do the same to Torulf, feel his hot skin under my paw again, but I'm afraid Lake would hear it. Torulf's paw makes its way up my torso, and his paw pad brushes against my nipple. I stifle a pleasured groan, and I hold on to Torulf, my knees going weak under me. His other paw cups at my groin, Torulf feeling my stiffening member through the fabric, rubbing against his palm. You hear anything? No, nothing. Suddenly someone knocks on our door. I jump away from Torulf, startled, and the tiger almost falls back on the table. Alright guys, I'm gonna pause it right here. Ooh, getting saucy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, leave a super thanks or a tip if you can, it always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!